Hey, this video is about how to say no without breaking relationship. Now, saying no is one of the important competency that we all need to have, whether we are working in organizations or we are managing families or we are managing schools or we are teachers or we are even students, right? So saying no is very important. However, culturally we have been taught that it's not nice if you say no. You hurt people if you say no. You break relationship if you say no. But you know what? That's not true. We just need to understand how to say things versus thinking that saying no is bad, right? Today's environment doesn't give you a choice to say yes to everything, and it also doesn't give you a choice to just keep breaking all the bridges. So what do? I'm going to share something that can help you take your, make your decisions about, frame your no's in a way that are not offensive, because end of the day, most of us want to help people. Most of us want to be nice to others and want to be altruistic, right? So I'm no way suggesting say no to everything and just focus on your priority and forget what people want. I'm not saying that. I'm saying choose. Know where you are adding value. Number one, very, very important. A lot of times we keep saying no because the other person is not putting effort to solve their own problems, and they come to you because they want you to solve their problems. Okay? Now, somebody like me will say, hey, did you put enough effort to solve your own problem, or are you just straight away coming to me? Because that's an escape mechanism, right? Just give my problem to somebody else, they'll solve it. So first of all, know why somebody needs help and why you are the only person who can solve it. And if you are not the only person who can solve it, you know how to deviate that, right? You basically connect to people who can solve their problems better. I also challenge people to say, hey, these are few things you can look at, can you try that and come back to me, versus saying yes at the first moment, right? Now that also empowers people to think for themselves and find their own solutions. We don't want to be serving things on plate. We want people to find their own solutions because that makes them stronger. That gives them more power on themselves and more confidence. So the number one, very important, is see whether you're the only person who can solve that problem. Number two, see if you are the only person who can solve that problem. Do you have to solve it now, or you can solve it later, or you can solve it half and then negotiate. Negotiation for help is extremely important because you may not do everything, you may not finish, you may not solve the whole problem yourself. You may chunk the problem in a way that you say, I can do this much for you, can you try this much then, or can you do this much first and then I can help you with this much, right? And see how you can spend minimum amount of your time supporting people without becoming an escaper for them. Very important. And the last is say no where you're not adding value, right? And when you say no, you can always frame it in a different way. Say, hey, maybe I'm not the best person to solve this, or say, hey, I think if we talk about this later, it can be more beneficial for you. Or things like, hey, I would love to help you, however, I feel this is not the right time for me to get into this. So you can always frame your no's without using the word no, right? Because cognitively our brain also doesn't like that word. It just, when somebody says no to us, we feel a little awkward inside, right? So frame your no's without using the word no. But before all these three steps, you need to know what you want. The clarity of what you want in this situation is extremely important. Do you want to negotiate? Do you want to say no to it? Or do you want to say yes to it? But is it the right time? So figure out before somebody reaches, and the best strategy is when somebody reaches out to you, do not respond the same time. Say, give me 2 minutes. Even if it is an urgent situation, take few minutes to think, where does the problem solve? Is it an extreme yes? Is it an extreme no? Or is it a negotiable situation? I hope this helps you. Just try it out a couple of times. There are so many ways to frame your sentence without using the word no. So write it down. That's the best strategy. If you write it down and say, how can I say this without using the word no, you will have so many other options to choose from. Try that out, and I would love to hear from you. Bye bye.